everyone, welcome back to Alice on the Giant Bookshelf. Today is Tag Tuesday and I'm going to be doing a tag which is the Reading Pet Peeves tag. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name's Alice and I have way too many books. Now it's been a very long time since I did a tag here on BookTube, but I have recently been tagged in one tag at least 3 times, so I thought I'd better do this tag because I've been tagged in it a lot. And this is the Reading Pet Peeves tag, which I think evolved from a conversation, but the tag was created by Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics. And there are 8 questions today, so it should be a nice quick one, and we will see what I think of these things that are apparently pet peeves, but I think it's really more about reading habits. The 3 people who I've seen tag me in this lately are Becky at Teacup the Storyteller, Kristen at Enter the Book, and Aaron at Aaron Facer. And all 3 of them were kind enough to tag me, so I thought I'd better get on and do this tag. So without any further ado, question 1 is, do you use or read along with audiobooks? Yes, I absolutely love audiobooks. I don't often read along with audiobooks, i.e. having the audiobook playing at the same time as reading the book, although sometimes I have borrowed the audiobook. If I'm really into a book and I'm trying to get through it, I will switch between the physical and the audio. Sometimes that has worked for me, but most of the time I will just have a separate audiobook that I'm listening to. I really enjoy listening to audiobooks while I'm cooking, while I'm cleaning, and sometimes in bed, although I do tend to fall asleep with it on and miss bits. Not so much then, and also do listen to them when I'm driving. Question 2 is, do you utilise your local library? Yes, I do. Unfortunately, utilising my local library has caused me to get quite a lot of books out of the library and read those instead of reading my giant TBR. But yeah, I've had some really good luck with going into libraries lately and finding books that I really want to read, such as books from the Booker Prize list. Yeah, so I love my local library, and I'm lucky enough to live in a town where there are several libraries in several surrounding villages, all of which I like to go to if they've got a book that I would like to look for. Question 3 is, do you DNF books? And I think this would have been a very different answer last year, because I didn't used to DNF books. I used to struggle all the way through them, and I don't think I DNF'd a single book last year. However, this year I think I've DNF'd 5 books so far, and I'm finding it really helpful in terms of not finishing books that I really have no interest in finishing, and also it's been a lot better for me to just devote my reading time to books that I can really enjoy. There definitely have been more books in my tally of books I've read this year that I could have DNF'd and didn't, but I'm glad I have started to DNF properly, and I might be about to DNF a 6th. DNFing is definitely more of a part of my reading life than it used to be. Question 4 is, do you read multiple books at the same time? Yes, I'm terrible for doing this. Generally this happens because I'm doing buddy reads or group reads, but sometimes I will actually just be reading more than one book at a time because I want to. Sometimes I think it's really good to just have one book on the go, but realistically I will have at least 2, because one will be an audiobook and one will be a physical book. And recently it's often been more like 3 or 4. So at the moment I am buddy reading a book with Nikki from Red Dot Reads. I am sort of group reading Shakespeare play Hamlet. I'm reading just for myself a Dick Francis book, and I've still got my buddy read of The Count of Monte Cristo on the go, and I'm listening to an audiobook of Jane Seymour. So that's 5 books on the go in total. Question 5 is, do you make time or have a devoted time in your day to read? I don't have a specifically devoted time for reading. I tend to read as and when, and sometimes just fill every gap in the day with reading. What I have enjoyed really a lot lately is reading when I wake up. So I usually go and make a cup of tea or coffee first thing and bring those back to bed, and then I'll have a little bit of time reading and drinking my tea in bed before I actually admit that the day is going to happen and get up. And I really enjoy that little bit of reading time. But I also like to read in the evenings. I also like to read whenever I've got a spare gap in the day, really. So I'm lucky enough at the moment that I do have spare time to read and I don't need to go out of my way to make time. Question 6 is, do you dog-ear books? No, I have been guilty of doing this in the past if I didn't have a bookmark handy, but I have not done it for a very long time because it does ruin books quite a lot. So no. Question 7, do you annotate books? Also no. I do have various books that I will write down things in about books. I had one that I was using for buddy reads and group reads. Wrote down things that I wanted to say to my buddy reader or things like that. I don't think I've used that lately either, but I don't annotate books and write in them. I suppose I have done this when I was studying books, but I don't really like the idea of writing in books, so I don't do it. It doesn't mean that I think it's wrong for other people to do it. I just don't personally do that. If I want to make a note about it, it will be somewhere outside of the book. And question 8, the last question, is how do you feel about spoilers? I do not want spoilers at all. So sometimes I will even get cross that a book blurb has a bit of a spoiler on it. I've definitely been caught out by reading introductions in classics because that sort of casual spoiler of, oh, everybody's read this because it's a classic, really irritates me. It's definitely a pet peeve because plenty of people will be picking up a classic for the first time. So why would you put spoilers in an introduction? I haven't read an introduction before I've read the book for a very long time, because if there is any mystery left for me about a classic book, if there's anything I don't know about it, I don't want to know it in the introduction and before I read it. I want to come across it myself. So definitely no spoilers for me, and if I accidentally see a spoiler, it will ruin a book for me. It will definitely ruin a film or a TV series for me. I don't like spoilers at all. So that brings us to the end of all the questions for the reading pet peeves tag. I think a lot of people who I would normally tag have already been tagged in this one, but I'm going to tag a few people who I don't think were tagged by the people who tagged me, and also I don't know if these people have done this tag, so apologies if you have. But I'm going to tag Nikki from Red Dot Reads because we're buddy reading at the moment. I'm going to tag Ange from Ange's Book Chatter. I'm going to tag Jack from Spread Book Joy, and I'm going to tag Danny from Danny's Book World because I don't think I've seen them tagged. But if you are watching this tag video and you would like to do this tag, please feel free to be tagged by me, and do let me know in the comments down below if you are going to do this tag, or let me know in the comments below what are your responses to these questions. Do you have any reading pet peeves, and are they any of these things I have talked about? That's all from me today. If you have enjoyed this video, I would love it if you gave the video a like, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I do hope to see you again very soon for another video all about books here on Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. Bye for now.